Welcome to US Tsiji 360. I'm Dilbar Shatterson. Take a minute to imagine a very special gift. It's the kind of gift that brings all your family, your friends, and even strangers from around the world to your doorstep. They shower you with kindness, good laughs, and love. They look to you for inspiration and in turn work hard to make you happy. It's the kind of gift that sounds very lovely, but comes at the cost of something very precious: your body, your voice, your livelihood. In June, our team visited the family of a remarkable woman named Yan Pingwang. Through her story, we see how her family copes with a life-changing surprise and how they interpret the special gifts that they received.
Today is my 82nd birthday. From birth to death, the sorrows and joys of parting and meeting, anguish or joy, these are all things everyone will encounter.
Yan Ping came to the U.S. to study in 1989. She took the TOEFL and the GRE, and she scored over 600 points. A lot of universities wanted to accept her. However, the University of Houston was the first one to offer her an $850 scholarship per month. We were so happy. Working as teachers, we didn't have a lot of savings. On July 8, 1999, something happened to her. She vomited when she was at work. Her co-worker thought it was normal as she was pregnant for 4 months at the time. She was sent to St. Peter's University Hospital in New Jersey and was swollen all over for 168 hours. The hospital didn't reduce the swelling through urination. Instead, they cut open the skin on her arms and legs. After a week, the swelling was gone. The hospital tried to stitch her wounds. When they got into surgery and opened the bandages, the cuts were rotten. She would have died if we didn't amputate her arms and legs. Doing it would give her 50% survival chance. We thought survival was the most important thing. If her brain is working, she can still live on. So we said yes to the amputation. I thought it's only a small section of her limbs. When we came here and saw her, her right arm was amputated up to her shoulder, left arm up to the elbow. She was unconscious for 22 days. After she woke up, she was able to speak. At the beginning, she said she was useless. Later, she lost her ability to speak. Now, she cannot speak nor swallow. It's been like this for 14 years. The box is full of diaries. I write in my diary every day. At that time, I wrote about her conditions. There were many people who cared about us, and I have written them down. There were so many touching incidents. We were devastated at the time. And the people of all kinds, even strangers, would come and express their care. I was truly grateful. I have a total of 34 diaries. This is the 34th.
Did you sleep well last night? Dad is saying good morning to you. I wake up in the morning and pat her head, and she smiles when I say good morning to her.
She can express her emotions. She will smile if she is happy. She will cry if she's not. If she wants to thank people, she looks at you gratefully. She can do all that. She just cannot speak. Sometimes, when asking if she wants anything, or if she doesn't feel well, or if she needs to go to the bathroom, she blinks her eyes. We can only communicate like that. There is no other way for us.
She had brain damage, and she had full extremity amputation, so she was unable to swallow. She had to go to emergency room every 3 months to have G-tube replaced. It's really inconvenient for them to come to my office, especially the parents, they are old.
The doctor gave us great convenience. When Yanping was feeling sick, she would come visit her. When the wheelchair was broken, Tzu Ji helped us fix it.
In 2003, Yanping's mother told us that Yanping's wheelchair was broken. Yanping had been lying on her bed and could not sit up.
The New Jersey volunteers spent a lot of time looking for places to repair the wheelchair because it's custom made.
After about 5 months, the wheelchair was fixed. Yanping's father was really happy and everyone was happy. They put Yanping on a wheelchair, and Yanping's dad spun her on a wheelchair several times in the room. Since 2004, after knowing Yanping's parents brought Yanping to Texas to stay with her sister, we know Tzu Ji Volunteer in Texas will continue providing the support for Yanping's family.
Since they moved from New Jersey to Houston, we have volunteers come to accompany them every month.
It's been at least 6 or 7 years. Tzu Ji has continuously come and visit us monthly.
Every year they come to celebrate Yanping and our birthday. Every year they come to celebrate it.
When you encounter an incident, you have to face it and accept it and live through every day of your life joyfully. Everyone just speaks of doing this, but in fact, Yanping's family is actually practicing it.
Every time when we visit, Yanping's mother will tell us some jokes. For example, she fell when she was riding on a bike, how fast she was going. She would always tell it in a joyful way. She makes me feel she does not have any worries.
They found out we were married for 50 years, so they came and celebrated our golden marriage with us.
所以慈济是我们的亲人。
慈济 is our family. When they have an event, they call us and we go.
我们也经常有去的。
I encourage Yan Ping to live her life fully. Most healthy people lose courage with minor sickness or when they encounter difficulties in life. Some commit suicide. Life is so precious. It seems that she cannot do anything with her condition. However, she is fighting to live her life. For those who think they are unfortunate, Yan Ping can encourage them.
In a twist similar in its rareness, we also visited a daughter who is separated from her mother for over 20 years. From across continents and with little information on how to find her mother, Angel Yen, with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers, tracked down the woman she always wanted to call Mom. Watch with us as she finally meets her and, of course, finds the unexpected.
啲嘢俾個養煎鳳年食，佢中意食個鳳梨啊，買呢個絲瓜就 OK 啦。養煎鳳這個個案嗬。
We received a phone call from Su Chen Yan in March. She asked us to look for her sister-in-law, Josephine. Because Josephine's daughter hasn't seen her in 22 years, she really wanted to see her mother again.
She asked, "Everyone has a mother, why don't I?" She was separated from her mom when she was a little over 1 year old, so she never met her mother.
Before that, she was just a female figure who would call or send me a letter occasionally when I was little.
Hi, how are you? Hi, Miss Love, how are you? This for yours.
My name is Love Grimes, and I'm the caregiver for Josephine.
My mother always sent me a letter every 1 or 2 years, and I would ask my family to see if they had any phone calls from her. They all said it's been a long while since she last called. It had been 2 years, so it felt strange, and I felt worried. What if I search for her in the next decade and she's gone? I didn't want that regret, so I made a promise that I would find her.
She said, "Aunt, please accompany me." I said, "Sure."
But when I decided the dates of our trip, I still hadn't managed to contact my mother.
So we made some calls and arrangements. We picked them up at the airport, then go to the home care center to meet the person who is in charge, Marilyn. But when we got there, Marilyn said Angel's mother was not there.
She's not here yet. She's not here yet. We got to get to. I know it. We got to get to her. We got to get to her.
We were really worried that we wouldn't get to see her because no one told us where she really was.
Your name is, and just don't have no conversation.
Marilyn said my mother wasn't there and she wasn't under her care, and no one knows who is caring for my mom because no one would tell her. Then she said she would help me make some calls to find out.
Hold on.
So I asked her for the phone numbers so we can make those phone calls ourselves.
Angel wants to see her mommy today. Could you possible that?
Y'all called me and said Josephine's daughter wants to meet her. And I was like, who? What are you talking about?
Then we arranged to meet up at a McDonald's. We were still worried when we got there. We were really scared we couldn't meet her.
I am very nervous and worried that my mother won't show up. When the personal nurse shows up, she might not expect this many people and could be frightened, and I don't know my mother's situation. She's not like an average person, and I'm really scared that she might be stressed out. What if she didn't acknowledge me when she saw me? What if she got upset because I've never really met her? And I thought, if she doesn't show up, everyone will be disappointed. You know, it felt horrible.
When she came in, really, she was a changed person. It really wasn't her. You couldn't imagine that it's the same person.
I always tried to imagine how my mother looked. My jaws dropped when she came in, and I didn't know what to do. You can't rush forward with emotions to a stranger.
She still recognizes me. I really didn't recognize her. All I saw was her neat row of teeth when she smiled. She was still so beautiful. She was a changed person.
Then I was just crying and she asked me why. I was so glad that I made such a rash decision. All I know was the moment I saw her, I realized how much I loved someone I'd never seen before.
Josephine was crying like crazy. I started crying. It was total joy.
Her daughter was in happy tears, hugging her mother. Her mother was comforting her and singing to her. It was such a touching moment, you know. Some of the volunteers cried too.
When she saw us crying, she thought, if they take her away that day, the two of us will be crying all the way to the plane. When the nurse said it was okay to take her out, we nearly knelt down in gratitude.
Even though she couldn't care for me during the past 20-some years, we are very important to each other in this life. And I had the chance now to care for her.
Then we brought her to Walmart so her daughter could buy some food and clothes for her, and we took her to a vegetarian restaurant for lunch.
So Josephine went and slept with her. They brought Josephine back the next day.
It was too short. Time was too short.
I said, what do? I have to go back to Taiwan. She cried. And she pouted. I pouted at her too. And at that moment, we were just like friends. I'm so glad to have had this friend.
She couldn't take her hands off of her mom. She was getting ready to go to the airport. And it was late. It was getting late. And she couldn't leave her mom.
Then we had to reverse the car because of the way we parked it. And my mother ran out. I was bursting in tears. My mother was too. I thought, what should I do? This is so cruel. I felt it was fine if I was the only one upset. Now I'm really ridden with guilt. If I didn't come here today, my mother would have been living her life happily. Now that I showed up and left her, would I be hurting her? I felt, how could I let her cry?
Before she left, she kept saying, I finally met my mother. She just realized how it felt to be embraced by her mother. No matter how different her mother is now, she will still hug her and tell her that she loves her very much.
When they were leaving, Josephine was really sad and she cried. I told her daughter, don't worry, as long as your mother lives in Houston, we will come visit her every month.
Camera.
Sister Anne and her team had great spirit. It was unforgettable for me. This is the Tzu family. Without this family, Angel would have never gotten to see her mother.
先写给素娟，写素娟，你快不快乐？写给我前夫，整一跟他一起。 我不知道我做了什么坏事，因为那是1985年的时候，然后我记得我喂奶给晨晨。
我在那时候意会到说，如果这个人真的
That was when I realized if this person didn't love me, how could she have continued to write all these years?
去的写信。
After I grew up, I felt it was impossible for a woman to not love her own children. If she didn't love them, she would have disappeared. She does love me, and that's why she did these small things.
我不是不要你啊，只是妈妈还需要人家照顾她。我想你。
杨师姑他们都常常来看你啊，对不对？
不要来管 ，OK。我觉得我做了很大的一件错事，我的心情也不是很好。
哎，不要来管，您过去了，不要想太多哈。啊，好好去照顾自己啊。
OK，
但是我说我会尽一份力去吧，因为我觉得他那么孝顺哈，那个。
I will do my best because I felt Angel's love in coming here to find her mother. The love between them really touched me.
很感动。
素娟，你快乐吗 ？Right here they have pretty roses. I wish you healthy and everything gonna be okay.
If there is a miracle, it would be like any normal family. When the children are all grown up, they will often come to bring their mother home with their own family or something. That's our hope.
She made me realize that love is more than just saying it. She made me realize that I could do so much to find my mother, and it's a very touching journey.
送给你们，送给谁？家人们。哦，谢谢，感恩感恩。
Through the examples of these extraordinary families, there's a lot to learn about the wondrous connection between children and their parents. We want to thank the families you saw today for giving us the gift of meeting them and hearing their stories. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dilbar Shatterson, and I'll see you next time.